What's up everybody, Bugbear here. I've got my two Charvel Pro Mod DK24s with me. They differ in really only one key respect, and that is the pickups that they have installed with them. I recently put the new Mark Holcomb Scarlet Scourge pickup set in this one over here. I've gotten a few questions about how they compare to the Alpha Omega set, which I have in this guitar over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore a range of different tones from some classic Periphery tracks, A/B test them with both of these guitars, and see if we can figure out what makes these pickups similar to one another and what makes them different. So let's dive right in. Let's start with some stats. So Seymour Duncan's Alpha Omega pickup set was the first signature set created for Periphery guitarist Mark Holcomb, released in 2017 after the release of Periphery 3. Both the Alpha neck pickup and the Omega bridge pickup feature ceramic magnets. Now, Seymour Duncan describes them as high output passive humbuckers. How high output are we talking here? It's a little bit lower on the scale. It sits in between the Pegasus at 12.5K and the Nazgul at 13.6K, and it's lower output than the JB at 16.6K. Now, here's how Seymour Duncan describes the Omega bridge pickup. So they say it's created to provide destructive, percussive growl in the mids and low end. It's aggressive, but also lots of clarity and brightness, which cuts through whether you're playing sophisticated chords, complex signal note lines, or intense solos. Now for the Alpha neck pickup here, we see output here, DC resistance is 8.02K. So Alpha is actually fairly high output, at least compared to other neck models. Here we have Seymour Duncan Jazz, 7.5K, Sentient at 7.8K. So Alpha is indeed higher than both of those. And here's how they describe it. So the Alpha neck pickup is unlike most traditional neck models. It was voiced to combine the best qualities of a neck and a bridge pickup with some of that fat, glassy sound, but also plenty of your pick attack and fretting hand phrasing. Okay, in 2023, Seymour Duncan released the Scarlet and Scourge humbucker set as an update to the Alpha Omega. They originally build them as kind of geared toward digital amp modelers that Periphery uses. Now, here's how they describe them. Enhanced clarity for complex chord voicing, coiled splitting, and dropped tunings. Scarlet neck pickup features ceramic magnet, but with output calibrated for note definition and clean and mid-gain applications. We will note that for later. The Scourge, with an Alnico 8 magnet, interesting, provides the low end and focused mid-range needed to anchor Mark's modern sound. Now, in terms of output, neck pickup here, 7.56K. If we go back to our comparisons from before, that sits just between the Jazz and the Sentient. And then the bridge, the Scourge at 11.06K, that's actually the lowest output bridge pickup that we looked at today. Now, notably, it's not nearly as low as other pickups like a Pearly Gates, which is just at 8.2K. So it's low output, but it's not crazy low output. I've got my guitar loaded up with the Alpha Omega pickup set, and I've got FM3 edit open here, dealing with 4 different scenes here. So this one is a clean tone. We've got a pretty dry, dirty rhythm tone, more jangly one, and then we got a lead tone. That sounds like this. And kind of playing with it a little bit. You can hear that like building wall of sound underneath me. That was the Omega. So move up to scene 2, which is our dirty rhythm tone. It sounds like this. Now scene 3. It's got that kind of jangly sound to it, especially in split coil positions. But if you turn the drive pedal on here, it actually, and flip back to the bridge position, you got a really great usable rhythm tone. So kind of nice genty thing. It's good for more like articulate rhythm sections, like if you're doing the, Gods Are Crazy thing. It's got that nice kind of genty articulate tone to it. Okay, last one. I've got a lead tone here. This is a Friedman HBE V1. Now the test itself was pretty straightforward. I took 4 riffs from Periphery is the way the news goes and recorded with each guitar twice, so left and right, so I got double track, and you'll hear it in isolation and then in the mix using the Periphery 3 producer pack. So that's pretty nice because what I can do is fully mute the original track that's playing the same thing as I'm playing, so that when we're listening, you just hear my guitar. It's not muddied by theirs. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I did realize the error in my ways there, and that I'd forgotten a direct comparison of just the neck pickup, so the Alpha versus the Scarlet. So I did a few takes of the nice jazzy solo that comes at the end of Omega, which we'll hear now. And then afterward, I did something that was kind of interesting, because I found that the neck pickup, the Alpha and the Scarlet, were exceedingly similar sounding. And I was wondering if I could actually tell the difference between them. So I took the 2 takes that I did for the solo there, and I chopped them up kind of lick by lick, and then just alternated between them. And then we can listen to that here, see if we can actually pick out any difference between them. I don't know if they sound awfully similar to me. Well, folks, there you have it. That was certainly a lot of fun to put together, and I actually learned a lot along the way about output of pickups and stuff, and actually about these pickups too. I thought the Alpha Omega set going into this exercise was a dark set of pickups, at least as compared to like the bare knuckle juggernauts, for example. But in this test, I learned that the Scarlet Scourge are actually darker, particularly in those split coil positions. Actually, I heard it right away playing that first riff from The Way the News Goes. Like, if you A-B, you hear the Alpha Omega set, that sounds a lot brighter and a little bit thinner, actually. Scarlet and Scourge set's a little bit warmer. Now, remember, we saw that the bridge pickups, I think, are pretty similar. I think the neck pickups are pretty similar, too. But I think there's a little bit darker quality in the Scourge bridge pickup compared to the Omega. And I think that carries through into those split coil tones being a little bit darker. Now, if I were just to compare bridge pickup to bridge pickup, I think my preference does go to the Omega. It's got more growl to it. It's a little bit thicker. I don't know, just punch when you're playing riffs and stuff. Not that the Scourge doesn't have that. It just doesn't respond quite the same way, I feel like, to my pick attack. Now, I haven't tuned this guitar lower than drop C yet, so I'm not sure how it behaves. But the Omega, I have played in drop A, for example. Not, that thing just rips in drop A, so I'm sure it would handle, tunings lower than that just fine as well. Now, as far as neck pickups go, the Scarlet actually took me off guard, because when I put it under that Friedman HBE doing lead work, it just kind of jumped out at me. It's got this really smooth, bluesy quality to it. Picked up on my picking dynamics in a neat way. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, as far as which set I would recommend, I think I do like the Alpha Omega set just a little bit more overall. The Scarlet Scourge is absolutely very usable musical set, though I think because of the bridge pickup alone, playing metal, it's used a lot. I think I'd give a slight edge to that set. Certainly wish a comparison like this had existed at the time that I bought them, because maybe I would make a different choice. I think I was looking at the Pegasus Sentient too, which I'm still interested in. I just, probably not going to shell out the money for that anytime soon. But anyway, if you have any experience with them, let me know. Be curious to hear about it. And thanks for watching. See ya.